Hi, good day. I'm going to explain to you today how to raise baby chicks. There's about 50 Potch Koekoek chicks that are about a day old that have just come out of our hatcher system. We hatch these ourselves from our own breeding stock. So you're either going to get your chicks, you're going to buy in your chicks, or you're going to hatch it yourself. So in this case, we hatch it ourselves. But if you do buy in chicks, the process is the same. It's just that yours would come in a box. So the first thing you want to do, even before receiving the chicks, is you need to lay down your pine shavings. This is important. You need to lay it down about 2 centimeters thick. And then you need to prepare your stress pack and antibiotic solution. This is important. The stress pack calms them down, especially if you brought your chicks in. It can be quite stressful, the transport process, especially if you're traveling long distance. So that's the first thing you want to do. So you're going to take your chicks and you're going to place them in your brooder with some feed and some stress pack, and you're going to make sure that it's warm. This is very important. Warmth is very important. It's going to be between 28 and 32 degrees Celsius. So in this box we've got 175 watt infrared bulb, and it's controlled by a temperature controller. It's controlled automatically so that it saves electricity, so you're not overheating your birds, as well as when it does get cold, it turns on. So another important thing to remember is not to overcrowd your brooder. Too many birds per square meter can become a problem, especially when they start pooping. It will cause the bedding to become too dirty too quickly before natural ventilation can dry it out. It's very important to keep your bedding dry, as once it starts, the poop starts caking on this bedding, it can start leading to respiratory infections such as infectious bronchitis, nausea, which aren't very good for your chicks. It's very difficult to medicate these chicks, especially when they get sick. So vaccination is done, but we generally wait for all the chicks to start hatching. This is day 21. They've just come out of the hatch, so we're still expecting more. In about 2 days' time, we will then vaccinate for infectious bronchitis and Newcastle. That will be covered in a later video. It's also a very important step. You can't vaccinate sick birds, so you need to make sure that the birds in this time don't get sick. You need to make sure that they're healthy and fit before the vaccination. If you give them the vaccination while they're sick, it's going to cause high mortality. As you can see, the light turns on and off. It's via the controller, just to save a little bit of electricity. So this is a fairly simple process. The most important thing is enough water and feed, and also heat. Heat is the most important thing. As you can see, we've got our infrared bulb in the center of the box. You don't want to put it to the side, to the corner. You want to keep them far away from the corner as possible, because as you can see, now this is because I'm close by and they're a bit scared, but you can see they're all hovering towards that corner. What would happen if they get cold? They'll start sitting on top of each other, and the poor chick at the back corner will get squashed and trampled on and will eventually die. So that's why heating is very important. Chicks will naturally go towards the heat. If you find that it's too hot, they will also go to the corner. They will eventually escape the heat around the infrared bulb, or if there's a draft, they'll also head towards the corner. The ideal situation is when they all lay around the heat lamp individually. That's when you know the temperature is just right. So this is how we control our temperature. It's a simple temperature controller, nothing fancy. You've got your main power coming in here to the control module. We've programmed the high to be 32 and the low to be 28 degrees. The computer controls everything and powers the light. During night, especially here in Gauteng, it can get quite cold. So there is a lid for this box that we put on. This side, and the other side, but you don't want to fully close it, as you do need fresh oxygen to circulate inside there. By putting the boards on top, it allows the heat to be trapped inside there. It insulates it quite well, this wood. By doing that, you can make sure that they are between 28 to 32 degrees. If you find it is too hot in there and you can see signs of heat stress signs, or if they're like panting, you can just open the roof, and you can cool it down inside there. Otherwise, it's a fairly simple process. Make sure they're warm, make sure they don't get sick, and vaccinate. Vaccination is very important. These Potch Koekoeks are fairly strong. They're an indigenous South African breed. They're a lot hardier than your broiler chicks. They don't require as much attention. As you can see, they know where to go for the water. So that's about it. Thank you very much.